Energy Capital Economic Development has been a very busy organization. Not only have they been working on the fuel incubator, but they also held a big groundbreaking event this summer for the Wyoming Innovation Center. Here are a few comments from the groundbreaking.
With that, I'm going to give a little bit of a background on the project. It should only take me about 2 hours to go through that. Just kidding. The inception of this project was actually an idea by Dave Spencer, sitting right here at the front. He was the Wyoming Business Council regional representative back about 5-6 years ago when we had visitors from companies such as Encina, LP Amina, TerraPower. You heard of them. They've been in the news recently. And they were looking for a place to put pilot plants together where they could prove out technology. TerraPower was one of them. And they said, boy, if you had a place where we could set up and build a pilot plant, we would be here. And so that was the genesis for the idea behind the Wyoming Innovation Center. Let's build a place where that technology can be taken out of the lab and put to practical use so we can extend the life of our coal mines, find alternate uses for coal, and use that as a raw material for manufacturing plants. Atlas Carbon right behind us is a very good example of taking coal and converting it into a new product, a much higher value product. And so that was the idea behind this project. And so it took us about 4.5 years to get all the funds raised. The Wyoming Business Council was the first money in with about $1.5 million grant. And then it took us about another 1.5 to 2 years to get the federal money, the EDA money, which was $1.46 million, and it has come together. We have a long way to go, but we're excited that we have the funding and we're under construction.
So I am from the School of Energy Resources, and we're so grateful for the partnership we have with Carbon Valley for Campbell County, City of Gillette. Carbon Valley today already includes the Wyoming Carbon Safe Project, which is a commercial scale CO2 storage site being developed. We lead that, but we have a wide team of partners here and across the state and beyond. There's also the Wyoming Integrated Test Center, which has already been mentioned, and how today we're here to talk about the Wyoming Innovation Center. This facility is designed to provide technology developers a place to test their technologies outside of the lab. I couldn't overstate how important that is, because technologies go through a valley of death, and one of the hardest points is when they're at the pilot scale. And as technology developers, we really need a place to test these at a larger scale than what our labs at UW can support. And we will be here. We've already committed in partnership on a project that's already existing today, a $1.62 million project with the Department of Energy, National Energy Technology Laboratory, the School of Energy Resources, Campbell County, and the City of Gillette, Energy Capital Economic Development. We will be testing rare earth element extraction from coal fly ash. In addition, the School of Energy Resources is working on new technologies to create new products from coal, things like construction materials, asphalt replacement, and much more. And we aim to test that technology here as well. So we also have recently heard that we've received almost 1.9 million to focus on the Powder River Basin coal for for extracting rare earths and critical minerals from associated coal seams. And the Energy Capital Economic Development, City of Gillette, Campbell County were all great partners in putting that proposal forward, and we haven't even started that work yet. So we're really excited. It just keeps building and building, and we're so excited about building up these new technologies, getting them out of our labs, out into the field, and making them a reality.
A number of my colleagues from around the country and saying it's time. It's time that America starts selling energy and technology and the future to our friends instead of trying to buy it from our enemies. You know, when you look at critical resources and you look at rare earth elements, where is that all coming from? It's coming from overseas. When you look at uranium and what the important value of nuclear power can mean for our future, That comes from Russia. It's something we've been fighting for years. Carbon fiber and those kinds of technologies, those can be developed right here. Mike easily recognized that right off the bat and started pushing that. Commissioner Bell and actually all the commissioners and Senator Wasserberger have been real champions to sort of make sure that we didn't, to Mike Easley's comment, think of ourselves as victims, but think of ourselves as leaders in this effort to go forward. And nationally, you know, we've heard a lot of conversation about how we need to decarbonize our electric source and de-carbon dioxide our atmosphere, et cetera, but then they sort of focus on what that means is that we need to convert to renewables. And Wyoming loves renewables, that's true. But as we saw in Texas, and that was just the most recent example, we saw before the failure of that sort of mechanism of relying entirely on renewables. We saw it in California last year during the summer where that market broke down and people had to go through rolling brownouts. We saw it before in Katrina where coal again provided the backbone for energy supply at a time when renewables weren't working. And the example that I give over and over again was a conversation I had at the Federal Reserve Bank joint conversation about energy back about 2019. And at that time, if you remember, now us in Wyoming, we would refer to it as a snowstorm, but nationally the press likes to talk about it as a bomb cyclone. Sounds much worse than a snowstorm. But that particular bomb cyclone took out a lot of the renewable power in Colorado. And Xcel Energy, which was talking about how much they'd advanced renewable energies. The bomb cyclone actually slowed down the windmills. It actually covered up the solar panels. And when a young man was saying, you know, I want to have all renewables and our poor co-ops are not reaching the goal that they need to, the head of it, Alice Jackson, said, well, you have to realize that during that time, coal provided 80% of the power for Colorado, 80% of the power. Coal isn't going away. And it is our most abundant and readily available energy source, but we can use it for so much more. And that's what the Innovation Center is about. And the research that we're doing here, that Holly's directing, that the city of Gillette will benefit from, and the international recognition you're getting here is just extraordinary. Gillette is the center of where innovation is going to come from that will lead this nation forward, make us energy independent, and truly drive us into a great new world. So it's great you're all here today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here and recognizing this opportunity.